Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Well, let's take a look at things, shall we? Current blood sugar is at 8. I have fully calibrated. I had to do a slight change late last night, or not late last night, but around 8. So I'm still in the calibration pattern. And the next time it should clear up, I hope. Okay, we're at 8. I've had a few corrections throughout the night. Blood sugars have been variable through the night. I went up high yesterday, and then my sensor stopped working. And I went for a while without any numbers until about 9 o'clock. And then things started to work again. And I've been fully working along around 8 for the whole night. Okay, so if we take a look here, this shows here, I had some lows yesterday, which is a concern number. Above 20, above 10 is 20%, so that leaves me 75%. We're still ahead of the game, which is great. But I think today, having my pump back in working order, we should be great. Today, I want to discuss, what do I want to discuss? No, I know what I want to discuss. I want to discuss my high plan. So stay tuned. We will be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. You know, back in the day when I was first diagnosed, if you had a high blood sugar, if you just had one high blood sugar, it was, that was the end of the world. You're going to go blind. You're going to lose a foot. Or you're going to lose your leg. Those were the stories that were going around. These stories are just there to scare or shock a young diabetic into getting control. They don't work. Diabetes has come a long way. One high blood sugar isn't the end of the world. 2, okay, it depends. If you get 2 in a row and you're on an insulin pump, you may have to change your site. I do every so often, and things start to work. 3, get appointment with your doctor. Sit down and say, when I'm high, how am I going to stop myself from going into DKA? That's something we don't want, and especially if you're utilizing, I don't know where it is, it's attached to me somewhere here. Oh, there it is. Especially if you're on the pump and it's only fast-acting insulin, it's only going to be in your system very shortly, and with 2 hours you could be in DKA. And from a DKA survivor myself, you don't want that at all. It's one of the worst parts of being a diabetic. Almost all of us have felt DKA sometimes in our life. Thinking back to it, it was probably when we were diagnosed. just think how bad you felt. Think about that again. And we all know that illness or stress can cause higher blood sugars. But how do you treat it safely? Yes, you could give 5,000 units of insulin. That'll certainly bring down your blood sugars. But it's not going to be a safe way of doing it. On the other hand, I personally can get really frustrated. If in a hospital setting, I'm in long term, not in a hospital setting, but in a hospital setting, oh, we'll give you 10 units. Well, I know 10 units isn't going to do anything for me. So, we need to get insulin back going into my system. Stress can interfere with resistance, your body's resistance to insulin. Every diabetic has some resistance. Some just slides under the railing. Others, it can be right at our doorstep saying, "Hi, howdy, remember, it's me." So talk to your doctor. If I start showing high and I have 2 high blood sugars in a row, what should I be doing? Again, if you're on the pump, he may say, well, maybe you need to change your site. In fact, when I just kept going up and up and up last night and my sensor went off, I changed my sensor, I changed my site. And things are coming back down, we're getting back into line, and we'll be fine. But if you start showing ketones, that's a problem. That's a signal that your body is saying, hey, you don't have enough insulin here. So you need to have your kit. Oh, it's right here. And in it, you should have a ketone meter. Now, you can also test for ketones in urine, but just like everything else, it's not the best number, the blood ketone level. If it's 3 or above, you need to head to the hospital. It's another tool, because I know when I would get sick and I thought it was the flu, I'd be, and I didn't know whether I should go to the hospital or not. And you kind of hummed or haw, because if I got sick, visually record of being sick, then I would just feel better and then gradually get back. So if you're showing ketones, that's a sign that you may need medical intervention. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. If you go into DK, you're probably going to be spending some time in the hospital. It may be a couple of days, it may be a week, but just be prepared. You're going to have an IV, and they're going to try to bring down your blood sugars. And then once your blood sugar is back in normal, but your electrolytes are still out, you're going to sit there and go, hey, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home. Your doctors know when you're ready to go home and when you're really ready to go home. They don't want to let you go and get into the same patterns that may have got you there. DKA is just a lack of insulin. It could be that you all of a sudden are just eating a diet totally of sweets that cause your blood sugar to rise. And there's not enough insulin going on, and your body's saying, hey, I need more help here. I need another shot. Give me another shot. You could get ill, and illness can be cold, flu, all the average illnesses. They can also be stress related. So you want to alleviate as much stress as you can. Keeping your blood sugar at a normal rate is the first and foremost. That's how you can stop yourself from very easily being into DKA. First signs that you're having problems is obviously your blood sugars. If your blood sugars are higher than 10, you may want to look at what correction plan have you and your doctor set up. Between 3.9 and 10 is great. But everyone seems to have that low plan. And it's, oh yes, I'm low. Yeah, I have a plan for that. This is what I have to do. But no one really worries about the highs. So if you've been recently diagnosed, you need to check in with your doctor and say, what about highs? When I have highs, what sort of plan should we be doing? Follow the plan and work within that plan. Most doctors, once you're in a good way with your type 1 diabetes, or you're sort of mature enough, if you're a youngster, they may give you a formula to treat the highs. And I have always been kind of leery in letting out these formulas, but I'll do it this time. You have a blood sugar, you have a cap. So let's say it's 10. If you're over 10 for 3 days in a row at a certain time, you need to give yourself more insulin, and it should only be like 2 or 3 units. It gets a little more tricky with the pump, and you need to do it under medical supervision, whether it be your endocrinologist or your diabetic nurse. Let your body work things out. 3 days, and then try it for 3 days. Try the new insulin dose that your doctors have worked out and say, okay, you can increase it by 2 units 3 hours before, and see if that'll bring down your blood sugar. It could be that your body is just reaching a level where you need to be more absorbent in your diabetes and take control. Don't be self-compliant. Oh, well, it'll eventually go down. Because you get anything. And diabetes, I've found, will give you little bits of secret of what's going on. And the good old saying, the hindsight is 2020. Looking back, your hindsight will say, yeah, I did have those couple of days of having that blood sugar out of whack. So, things can work out that way. But make sure you discuss what sort of plan your doctor would like you to do when you are high, that you can do on your own and treat the highs before they become a serious medical issue. Let me stress it enough. If you are heading into DKA, that's a serious situation. So, first step, speak with your doctor, come up with a game plan. And with that, have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.